Greetings, salutations, and thanks for joining me for another video. While Tesla has been widely regarded as one of the safest cars in the world for years as far as crash and rollover tests, one often overlooked category is its other high-tech safety features. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 tips that you should know about and be utilizing to protect you, your family, your car, and your belongings. Now, of course, when one thinks of driving safety in a Tesla, they usually think about autopilot and its autonomous safety features. But I already covered most of that in my autopilot video, which you can check out up here or down in the description below. But one thing you should make sure you have turned on before your next drive is your blind spot cameras. This was added in the Christmas update last December. To do that, just head over to your quick controls, then autopilot, then turn on automatic blind spot camera, which will turn on when signaling. All right, let's get into the list. Now, the following 10 Tesla safety and security tips aren't in any specific order necessarily, but we'll start with the most famous one, Sentry Mode. If you saw my recent video where my neighbor keyed my car and I confronted him, you'll know how valuable Sentry Mode is. Sentry Mode uses 8 cameras on the Tesla to constantly record footage when turned on and active, and stores it on an external thumb drive located inside the glove compartment, which can then be connected to another device like a computer to view. You can of course also view footage on the screen within the car. If you experience the Tesla thumb drive constantly disconnecting, I'd suggest using a high-speed micro SD card reader with a 128GB SanDisk Extreme card and format it on a computer. This should solve the issue. I'll link the combo from Amazon below in the description, along with some simple instructions to format it properly on a computer, which should only take around 30 seconds. Okay, back to the original tip. To turn on Sentry Mode, simply head to the quick controls, then safety, then toggle it on. One tip, or I guess reminder, is to make sure to take your phone with you when leaving the car, or Sentry Mode won't be active. It usually activates once you're about 30 feet away from your car with your phone on you. I set mine to fold in the mirrors and give a quick beep on the horn to alert me that it's active as I walk away. This actually happened to me at Target recently when a gust of wind blew a cart clear across the parking lot and into the driver's side door of my Model Y. But Sentry Mode didn't catch it. I later realized I accidentally left my phone on the wireless charger in the car, so Sentry Mode never activated. At the time, this led me to believe the car was vandalized, similar to the keying incident that happened the week prior, but there was no footage. Luckily, Target security was kind enough to look at the tapes and saw that it was just the wind catching a cart someone didn't put back. They had me fill out an incident report and about a week later called me and offered to cover the cost of getting it repaired. So shout out to Target, a hometown Minneapolis-based company. Another Sentry Mode setting you're going to want to turn on is live camera view via the Tesla app. To turn this on, again, head to the quick controls, then safety, then Sentry Mode, and toggle on live camera view. You'll also need a recent version of the iPhone or Android app. This will allow you to remotely view 4 angles from your Tesla at any time. This is super helpful if your alarm is triggered so you can safely view if it's a real threat or something like a loud motorcycle setting off the alarm, which happened to me at a few casinos here in Las Vegas. Having this active saved me a 20-minute walk back to the car. One complaint about Sentry Mode is battery drain. On average, it uses around 7% per 24-hour day, so people leaving their car at an airport for an extended period of time may have to take this into consideration, as Sentry Mode will shut off once the battery gets down to 20%. I suggest charging to full before leaving for the airport, and then you should be able to last at least a week without issue. You can of course view your battery percentage on the car at any time by simply opening the mobile app. If you notice you're getting low, you can turn it off at any time. I once was gone for about 10 days and decided to turn Sentry Mode off at 8 a.m. and then set a Siri alert to remind me to turn it back on at 8 p.m. as I figured nighttime was the highest probability of something happening. This gave me plenty of battery for the entire 10-day trip. All right, so number 2 on my list, window and lock settings. Turn off unlock on park. Do this by going to your quick controls and then locks, and make sure to toggle off unlock on park. You don't want your doors to unlock whenever you put the car in park. If you pull up to pick somebody up in a parking lot, you should just tap the unlock button on the screen when they get to the car. Otherwise, you're vulnerable to anyone walking up and opening the door. That is, if they can figure out how to open the door. Also, you're going to want to turn on walkaway door locks. Do this by going to quick controls and then locks and toggle on walkaway door lock. This locks the door when you and your phone get around 30 feet away from the car. You can also toggle on lock confirmation sound as well as close windows on lock. The next part of this section is to make sure that you turn on notifications for car doors and windows that are open. Do this by going to quick controls and then locks, and make sure door and windows is selected under car left open notifications section. And the last part of this section is to turn on child door and window locks if you have kids. If you have kids, you want to turn on this feature under quick controls, then locks, then under child lock section, select the option right for you. All right, number 3, these are security settings. These settings will keep the wrong people from driving the car or accessing sensitive info and items. Pin to drive. Just like your phone's password, this will keep intruders out and unable to drive the car even if it was broken into. To set this up, go to Quick Controls, then Safety, then toggle on Pin to drive and set up your 4-digit pin. Next, we have Glovebox Pin. Also like your phone's password, this will keep anyone without the pin out of your glove compartment, including valets. To set this up, go to Quick Controls, then Safety, then toggle on Glovebox Pin and set up your 4-digit pin. All right, and the last one in this section is Valet Mode. Make sure to keep your valet key in the glove box with a pin set. If you don't, and let's say you keep it in the center console with no pin to drive set, someone could theoretically break in, tap the card, and away they go. If you keep the card in the glove box, then when you arrive at a hotel or restaurant with valet, you can simply take it out, then turn on Valet Mode by tapping your name at the top of the screen and entering your pin to drive. This will turn on Valet Mode. The car is now in Valet Mode until you tap the valet button and enter your code again. You can then safely give the valet key to the employee and know that they are limited on their max acceleration and power, as well as frunk and glove box or auto lock. Home and work locations are not set available to view in the navigation system. Voice commands are disabled. Autopilot is disabled. Settings can't be changed, and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are also disabled. Now you don't have to worry about a valet taking it for a joyride or accessing personal information or contents in the glove box. All right, number 4, which is super important for somebody like me who's traveling a lot, where to store valuables. Well, small items like a wallet, you'll want to use the glove compartment with a pin. Remember, there's no latch to open the glove box, so the only way to use it is through the screen. Setting this pin makes it a great place for those items, and it can't even be accessed by a valet. For larger items like a computer or camera bag, I suggest the frunk. It too can be opened via the screen or mobile app with the car unlocked and your phone nearby. Remember, thieves are looking for an easy score, so if they see a MacBook or that style of computer or camera bag sitting in the car, all they have to do is smash and grab. Keeping large valuables in the frunk is your best bet to avoid getting those items stolen. Now, there was a hack a few years ago where you could use a 9-volt battery to touch a couple wires located behind the hitch tab to pop the frunk. But this has since been fixed for a while now and will only work if the car's 12-volt battery is completely dead and or the car unlocked. I'll link to the video from early 2020 where CF Tesla demonstrates the original issue and the fix Tesla implemented over 2 years ago. Number 5, Roadside Assistance. Roadside Assistance, including towing through Tesla, is available up to 50 miles through the mobile app and is available 24/7, 365 days a year, and covers things like flat tires or lockouts in the case they can't open the door remotely, while warrantable breakdowns rendering the car undrivable are covered up to 500 miles from the nearest Tesla service center. One tip I do suggest is adding a AAA Premier membership. It also gives you tire changes, 12-volt battery boost, lockout services, but most importantly, adds towing services up to 200 miles once per year and 3 additional tows up to 100 miles. This is especially important for me as I'm often more than 50 miles away from an auto shop when I'm out camping or simply driving in remote areas. This gives me peace of mind knowing I'm pretty much taken care of if anything happens. I've heard horror stories about insane towing fees when way out in the boonies. This costs around $130 annually and is well worth it in my opinion. I'll put a link down in the description below to that. You can of course also save on businesses that offer AAA discounts. The other cool thing about annual membership is that it moves with the person and not the car. So if you're in a friend's car on a trip and something happens, or even if you're in a rental, your membership can be used. Another aspect of preparing in advance for car trouble is to be sure you have a safety kit with road hazard lights, as well as jack pucks to safely jack your car up while protecting the battery pack. Many auto shops and tow trucks still don't have these, so make sure you have them and always ask if they have their own or offer that they can use yours. I'll put a link to the ones I got on Amazon in the description below. The tire store in Denver didn't have them when I got a flat at my brother's last summer, nor did one of the most well-known auto shops here in Las Vegas, where I recently got new tires put on. So these are a must-have for any Tesla owner. Number 6, off-road assist and slip start. Now, while many Teslas, including mine, are all-wheel drive, a lot of folks might still get stuck in snow, mud, gravel, and not realize there's a setting to help you get out of these slippery situations. Simply head to Quick Controls, then Pedals and Steering, then toggle on off-road assist or slip start. Number 7, charging at night. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you've probably seen me pull up to a supercharger on a long road trip during the middle of the night. While most supercharger stations are well lit and considered safe, I have run across some that I didn't feel safe, and in some cases, even felt like I was being watched by people in cars nearby. It's never a great feeling when it's pitch black at 3 a.m., every business is closed, nobody else is around, you're in the middle of nowhere, and South Dakota, and there's some random people in a non-Tesla constantly driving around you. For me, as I'm well prepared with bear spray, as well as some other pieces of self-protection, one might call them, but for many, they won't have protection like that. The issue I'm referring to is the fact that there's currently no way to drive away in an emergency if your car is charging. So for instance, let's say it's the middle of the night and you're charging with nobody else around and someone walks up from behind a business towards your car, clearly up to no good. Currently, you'd have to jump out of the car, unhook the charger, get back in, lock the doors, and then drive off. In a gas car, in a life or death situation, you could of course drive away and hope the gas hose pops out, or you can just rip it off, but safely drive away in the end. With a Tesla, or any EV as far as I know, there's no way to eject the charging cable without getting out of your car, and the car won't go into drive or reverse if the car is charging. Tesla and other EV manufacturers really need to address this safety issue over the coming years, so one can simply press an eject charger button on the screen in case of an emergency. So while this one is less a tip and more of a plea to Tesla to fix this, I'd always suggest being prepared for a situation like this if you're on a long road trip, especially at night, by having your phone with the precise location available in case you need to call 911. Plus some type of protection, a bat, pepper spray, etc. While 99% of superchargers will be safely lit with no issues, it's always better to be prepared in case the worst happens, because as for now, we're kind of sitting ducks. All right, number 8, save dash cam clip via Honk turned on. This is actually part of the Sentry Mode settings, but it is a quick way to set aside a clip or incident on the hard drive for viewing later. When you tap the dash cam icon button on the screen or honk the horn, it automatically puts aside and saves the last 10 minutes of driving into a separate folder that won't get overwritten. This is great for road rage incidents where you want to catch the other driver's license plate, or if you witness another accident around you and you want to retain footage for an involved party. To turn this on, head to Quick Controls, then Safety, then under the dash cam section, select Auto and on Honk. Number 9, cabin overheat protection and climate control. Look, we all love our dogs and cats and want to protect them at all costs. This is where dog mode comes in handy. Simply bring up your climate controls and tap dog mode. This allows you to set the inside temperature of the car to a comfortable and safe temperature for the animals if you're running into a store, and also puts up a cute message on the screen to warn other people that the animals are fine and the inside temp, which is largely displayed on the screen, is specifically set for them and to not break the windows. Teslas are also equipped with a setting called Overheat Protection, which when active, like I always have mine, will make sure your car never gets over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. This just makes the car more tolerable if you forget to cool off the car ahead of time during the summer months, and also keeps things like food or toiletries at a reasonable temperature during the summer. It also somewhat protects parents from a forgotten child being left in the car, possibly dying. To turn this on, head to Quick Controls, then Safety, then at the bottom under Cabin Overheat Protection, make sure On is selected. One other thing to consider if you camp and plan to plug in a fridge to a 12-volt outlet in the car, you'll always want to make sure you have Sentry Mode turned on, as well as Camp Mode when you're camping, as this keeps the car awake and prevents it from sleeping. If your car falls asleep, it won't provide power to the 12-volt outlets, and you run the risk of your food spoiling. I always keep Sentry Mode on just because of the security aspect, so the car is always awake. Then when I get to a campground, I'll turn on Camp Mode, which also keeps the car awake, fridge on, and the perfect temperature inside. And last but not least, number 10, turn on Car Wash Mode. This ensures your mirrors fold in, all your windows are closed and won't open, doors and ports are closed and locked, Sentry Mode security off temporarily, and nothing else will be disturbed while large jets of water and brushes hit your car furiously at high speeds. Alright, that about wraps up today's video. If I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next travel, quick tip, or review video. Thanks for watching.